Good morning, everybody. JT here, and here are my takeaways from today's UWM sales funnel. But before that, I made a note of today's quote of the day, It caught my attention, and I thought it was worth sharing with you. So without further ado, let me share the quote of the day. Life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% what you do about it or how you respond to it. Again, let me repeat that. Life is 10% of what happens to you. The other 90 is dependent upon what you do about it and how you respond to it. That was huge. It's like Jim Rohn says, what happens to all of us. What we do about what happens to us is what determines our outcome. So without further ado, let me get straight to the takeaways. Number one, it is important that you have the proactive service approach. And here is what I mean by that. The best teams that win are the best teams that are on what? Offense. Now, I'll give you an example in our business, As a loan officer, if the consumer or if the real estate agent or anybody involved in the transaction reaches out to you to ask you for an update, that means at that point, once you pick up the phone and they ask you that question, you open your mouth, you're automatically on defense. So how to handle that is you calling everybody involved in the transaction, kind of like what we do here at Goto Mortgage Solutions every single Monday. We have a pipeline drill down. At that point, it is the expectation that we all take note of what's happening, then go back to everybody involved in the transaction and reset the expectations. That right there is being on offense. Here's another example. If your client is asking you, when are we closing? Hey, at that point, once you answer that, you didn't do a good job at the beginning of the loan, letting them know when you anticipate to close, or you didn't even do a good job at laying out the expectation or the timeline. So be on offense as opposed to being on defense. And that is how you win. That is how you provide an unreasonable experience to the consumer. And that's how, when you provide an unreasonable experience to the consumer, then forget it. They will for sure refer you throughout the entire process. Number two, structure. And here's what I mean by that. Do you wake up, shower, get to the office, have no plan, have no plan of attack, have no game plan, have nothing to do? The first thing you do is you open up your computer and you start responding to emails and you go with the flow. That is not structure, Look, I am a firm believer of if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I'm also a firm believer, like, you call me randomly and see if I'm available to have lunch. I can't. I am structured. I have a day planned out. I already know what I'm going to do. I already know it's important. There's a certain level of expectation that I have from me as I go through my day, right? And in order for me to exceed those expectations, I've got to have a list of what's going to be accomplished. That is including the number of files that are going to be disclosed. That is including how much time I'm going to be spending on Outlook, even including if I'm going to be recording content. I'm a very structured person. If it's not on the calendar, it doesn't exist. I'll give you an example. When I call someone and I ask them, hey, what are you doing next week? Would it be possible that you and I grab lunch? Their response is, yeah, you know what? Give me a call. And if I ain't doing nothing and you call me that day, I'm up for it. That's not how I operate. No, look, I'm calling you to see what you're up to next week. All right. Do you have time? Right. Let's take a look at the calendar. Right. And then at that point, if you've got time, great. We'll pencil it in. Now, look, that Tuesday comes around, things come up, right? You've got an emergency, something unexpectedly happens. Okay, you reschedule. But I am not a fan of simply not putting things in the calendar and just going with the wind. And that is structure for you. My takeaway number three, sell the unbelievable. Here's what I mean by that. This is very rare, As crazy as it sounds, we at Goto Mortgage Solutions have the capacity to send out the CD when we disclose. Unlike everybody else, they send out the CD once the loan is clear to close or once the loan has been approved, if at all. And that is being fast. So if we can send out the CD days after the offer was accepted or the same day, that's huge. Oftentimes we take it for granted. Oftentimes we realize that we've forgotten how amazing and how special that is. Now, once we do that, we're cutting escrow time frame by like 7 days. That's just one. Number two, follow-up. Huge. Our follow-up game is so good. Here's what happens with our follow-up. Number one, clients tell us, you know what? Stop calling me. I'm not interested. Hey, look, I appreciate you calling and following up, but quite frankly, I'm not interested. at that point, we reach out to the real estate agent and we let them know. I would rather the borrower tell the referral partner that, hey, these guys keep calling, as opposed to, they haven't even called me. That is so common nowadays. That is so average. Our follow-up game is so strong. Here's what I mean by sell the unbelievable. Stick to 3 different qualities that you believe you have and sell the heck out of them. Sell the unbelievable out of them. And that is one way of how you can be different in 3 ways. Guys, these are my takeaways from today's UWM Sales Huddle. I hope that you found them of value. I hope that you take one or a couple of things and they make a difference in your day, week, month, and even, who knows, they might even carry on to your personal life. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, dong that bell, and if you found it of value, forward this video to one of your friends. Make sure that they watch it, and the goal is that we grow this YouTube channel up to 500 subscribers by the end of the month of June. I need your help. Forward this, please share this on your social media, and let's go out and let's dominate, guys. Thanks, and have a great day.